my lord. On my way.
Merlin had secret lairs, towers, and dungeons all over the land. After taking back Bedford from the possessed armies, you learn that one of Merlin's secret hideouts is right here, deep in the forest. It looks like an ordinary blacksmith shop, but don't let appearances fool you. The blacksmith's old workshop looks like a tomb. 3 steps lead down to the entrance, a big stone door. You leave your army behind and walk downstairs. You see 5 levers in the wall made of different materials and a sign. The last one is next to the golden. The brass one comes earlier than the sapphire, and first one is next to it. The one in the middle is the neighbor of the wooden one. The golden one comes later than the brass. You see 5 different levers in this order: brass, gold, sapphire, wood, and silver. The sign on the wall says, the last one is the neighbor of gold. Brass precedes sapphire. The first is the neighbor of sapphire. The one in the middle is the neighbor of wood. Gold follows brass. You have pulled 1 lever. The sign on the wall says, the last one is the neighbor of gold. Brass precedes sapphire. The first is the neighbor of sapphire. The one in the middle is the neighbor of wood. Gold follows brass. You have already pulled 2 levers. The sign on the wall says, the last one is the neighbor of gold. Brass precedes sapphire. The first is the neighbor of sapphire. The one in the middle is the neighbor of wood. You have already pulled 3 levers. The sign on the wall says, the last one is the neighbor of gold. Brass precedes sapphire. The first is the neighbor of sapphire. The one in the middle is the neighbor of... You have already pulled 4 levers. The sign on the walls. You pulled the last lever, but nothing happens. Maybe the sequence was not right. You are surprised when you see the door shatter after the first attack, and the debris destroys everything in the room. This must be the effect of the defensive magic. You only find pieces of shattered furniture and a broken bellows. It looks like the door opens onto a short corridor which leads to another room. It is completely empty, but there are two doors at the other end of the room. You see a picture of a maze over the first one and a straight corridor over the other. You start to think about why. You brace yourself for danger, but nothing happens. The corridor is silent and peaceful. You almost reach the door. The room is only 4 steps long, and you see a strong oak door at the end with a drawing of a maze above it. There is a crystal-walled stone pedestal filled with some kind of liquid. You see 3 vats below with handles. Each one of them contains a scroll. After turning the handles, the lid may be lifted, but then liquid will fill the vats and the scrolls will be destroyed. If you turn them one by one, only the first 2 will fill up, but the third one remains unharmed. You have to decide which scroll to save. You turn the handles one by one. The first 2 vats fill with liquid, and you see the maps dissolve in 2 heartbeats. With the map in hand, you enter the maze. You keep deactivating traps and finding hidden. There is a big fireplace along one of the walls. You see a key hanging in it on a chain over magical flames. This must open the only... You put your hand into the flames, but they don't burn you, although you feel your magical defenses growing weaker. You grab the key and quickly pull it out of the fire. After opening the door, you walk into a library. The shelves are empty. The only book you can see is one covered in leather on a pillar. You have found the secret knowledge of the magical forge. You take the valuable book and leave the maze.
Your father's incurable wound would probably have killed him, were it not for the ancient magic of Bedegrain Forest. Sadly, the wound keeps on drawing on that magic, and the forest is shrinking rapidly. But there is a positive side to this. The receding twilight has revealed several ancient ruins from the time of legends. They are likely to hold untold treasures, my lord, and I strongly believe that you should explore them. I've marked them on your map.
Hear my words, good sir, for I come with a grave warning. The wild forests of Bedegrain shelter refugees sworn to Sabors. Although he was once a knight of the Round Table, he no longer trusts King Arthur, and he plans to move against.
On my way. On my way.
Our scouts have found a ruined castle from the time of the legendary King Vortigern. The whole place emanates strong magic and is likely to be filled with forgotten treasures.